Welcome back. Well, last night during Super Bowl 48, a bit of a record was set, not on the field, though. Advertisers paid in the range of $4 million a pop for 30-second spots during the game. Over the last decade, the Super Bowl has generated $2 billion worth of network ad sales. And how about this? 78% of the viewers say they like to watch the game with the ads than without them if given the choice. So which commercials caught your eye? This morning, we're speaking with an expert, Jim Dalton, President CEO of the advertising and public relations firm, the Dalton Agency. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
You too.
Full disclosure, you're my former boss.
It's been a while, though.
It's been a while. Now, you have 3 ads you want to talk about. There were a lot of good ones. We need to start out by saying I was impressed, actually, overall. They were pretty good overall.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the ads have clearly become almost as big as the game.
They really have.
But it's changed so much in that every advertiser is doing their best to extend that ad before and after. I don't know if you saw, but 90% of the ads were released prior to the game. Yeah. So only 10% of the ads were first seen on the game.
So much of it is what goes viral online beforehand.
Right. Every commercial drives you to the website or to their Twitter page. So it's changed dramatically.
And the stakes are higher. I mean, when you're paying $4 million, it better have an impact. It better work.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that so much rides on that particular one commercial when you're investing that much money. If you're not one of the top 5 from the game, you probably aren't getting as much of that investment. If you think about spending that typically on a regular schedule, it would spend over several months on several stations. So you got a lot of opportunities for people to see it. But in this case, you're hoping that yours is one of the ones that's most memorable.
All right. So you have 3 you want to talk about. We're going to begin by taking a listen to what Volkswagen did. Take a listen.
Hey, Darcy, look. 100,000 miles.
So?
It's a big deal. What if I told you that every time a Volkswagen hits 100,000 miles, a German engineer gets his wings?
Dooby-dooby-doo. 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 Dooby-dooby-doo.
We have to paint a picture, but what's happening now is they're getting their wings.
Yeah.
That was hysterical.
It was very good, very well done, and it plays into their brand. The fact that so many Volkswagens are still on the road after 100,000 miles, but also the playfulness of the father and his daughter. It's interesting. So many times it comes down to the same areas: emotion, comedy, or humor. Those are the top 2 triggers in almost all the commercials.
Those 2, if you tap those emotions, you've got a winner, you think?
I think so.
Every time.
That's a good formula.
Okay.
Add a puppy and a baby, and you got it.
By the way, did you watch any of it? I know this is off topic, but the Puppy Bowl?
I did not watch the Puppy Bowl.
That was crazy. Well, I'll talk about that with Cole. But let's go now. Of course, automakers, they are all over the Super Bowl. Chevrolet made a splash last night. Let's listen to what they had.
His truck. A man, his truck, and a very eligible bachelor.
Okay, why'd you like that one?
Well, first of all, I like that song. But,
yeah.
It's interesting to be able to tie in the brand and tell a story. Obviously, those trucks are strong and made, and he's carrying the bull. But one of the funniest things to me in that commercial is when they show all the cows and when he lets it out, and all the ladies are standing around looking at him. Just a great, well shot, very well done commercial.
Yeah, and of course, hometown hero Tim Tebow featured in T-Mobile's spots last night, and at the party I was at, the people were talking about this one. Let's listen to T-Mobile.
Tim Tebow here. Everyone thinks I want a contract, but without one, I've done so much this year.
Nervous father's the mind. White 20 motion. Why did he breathe? Putt hard.
Without a contract, I've tackled the unknown.
Gotcha.
I've answered tough questions.
We can save the whales, we can talk to animals, and we can bring world peace.
Iceland. Ice here.
Bottom line, contracts are limited.
Yes, they are. Switch to T-Mobile and we'll buy you out of yours.
All right, what'd you think?
I think T-Mobile had a big win last night, and it's not. I mean, the Tebow factor's huge. He's very good on camera, but their message came through loud and clear, and it's so hard to get that message when you see so many commercials. But the fact that they introduced their new promotion about buying back your contract, and it came through loud and clear and in a fun way. And a lot of people probably didn't see the last one, but in the last commercial, it was all type. They didn't even show Tebow in the last one.
And for Tim Tebow himself, poking fun at himself, I think, did him some good, too.
I agree. It makes him more likable, if that's possible. It's either you like or you don't, but I thought he did an excellent job, and T-Mobile really got a lot of good coverage on it.
And as you said, the social media portion of this is so important now. 38% of people who watch the game will look up the ads before and after the game, and they'll post about the ads on Twitter, Facebook, or texting each other. That piece of it is so much more important now, almost than the ads during the game.
Yeah, it really is. I bet you there's more people talking about the ads than the games today because the game obviously wasn't that close.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
So it becomes as big as the game, like I said when we started. I think, and so much goes into these, but boy, it's a hit or miss, and if you miss, that's a lot of money.
Now, your firm was tweeting about the ads, and the hashtag was the Dalton Bowl. So how did that go?
It's a fun thing we do each year. We do it on Twitter and get anybody that wants to come in and talk about it during the game. So there's this huge conversation going on after every spot. And what's so interesting every year is the spot will run, and half the people will say, "Oh, I hated that one," and the other half will go, "Oh, that was one of my favorites." So it's really interesting to see the conversation as it happens versus after.
Here are some more stats that you sent over. Still 55% of people still using Facebook. That's still the primary platform to talk about this.
Yeah, Facebook, you're seeing some migration from younger people to Instagram and other things, but it's still got such a wide audience that it's hard to ignore.
That's right. And we always enjoy talking about this every year. So thanks so much for being with us and sharing your thoughts.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Jim Dalton is president and CEO of the Dalton Agency, a Jacksonville advertising and public relations firm. Well, the ads were great, but what about the game? Cole Pepper has a look back at the Super Bowl blowout next here on First Coast Connect.